Shannon Sizzlen Stampers, and today I am bringing you a cute project for my library group of the month. And we are going to be, you'll each be receiving 2 different stamps from the Banner Year stamp set that are fall related. So you might get any combination. You'll get 1 sentiment and you'll get 1 image. They'll be different. They'll all be fall oriented. So that will be the first thing that's in your kit. And we're going to be making a blessing box or a blessing tin. So in your kit, you'll also have one of our rectangle metal tins. And if you will notice on the back hinge, there's going to already be 2 pieces of tear tape on that. You're also going to receive a version of Designer Series paper or DSP. It could be any different kind of pattern. They'll all be fall again. And it's going to be 2 inches by 7 inches in length, for those of you that want to know. You're also going to receive some sort of leaf die. These were dies I've had from, that I had got extras of from a paper pumpkin offering that we had, a special. So you'll get 1, they'll just be assorted. You'll get 1 of a different kind. And then you'll get 1 piece of some sort of our baker's twine. So that's going to come in your kit. In addition to that, you're going to get some white scrap paper, some of our Whisper White cardstock, and you're going to get 1 of the markers from, this was our 2008-2020 in colors set. So you're going to get 1 of these 5 colors. And they should blend in pretty well with the fall papers that I'm going to put in. But you're going to get 1 of those, and that's what you're going to use as ink. Don't forget, you're going to need that little block that you had initially, the block container. If you don't have that, if you've joined since the blocks were distributed, you can merely use the back of anything. If you have an ink, just a regular ink pad, you can put your stamp on that. Anything that has some weight to it and is square. So this is a block, and I've already got my, I just chose the squirrel and the happy fall you all. So when you get it, you're just going to peel that little thing. These are photopolymer stamps, so they're just sticky and clear. So you just peel it off, stick it on whatever you're using as your block, and we're going to proceed to make this. So first thing that you're going to do is your marker has 2 tips. You have a bullet point fine and you have a brush tip. Now, depending on how the kit bags have been stored, you may want to lay your marker flat like this, because if they've been upside down, stored upright, you'll need to have it flattened or at least store it temporarily with the brush tip down to make sure that all of your ink is going down to that tip. Then you're merely going to just color or brush right over that stamp. Just like so. And on your piece of white paper, one thing you want to do whenever you're using a marker technique like this for your ink is blow across it. Just make sure that you have enough ink and that the ink that you've had stays moist to get a good image. You're going to repeat the process with the saying that you have. And you'll see I didn't quite catch that L, or I guess that's the exclamation point. So I'll just fill it in. It's a nice thing about a marker, it matches. You can always get those at any rate. Now, you're going to then trim your sentiment down. I always use my big scissors when I'm just doing a long straight cut. Or you can use a little paper trimmer. It's just faster for me to snip, snip. And then of course I will always use my paper snips when I'm doing my fussy cutting, because they have that curved blade. That's why you don't see me use them for straight edge cutting. So I'm just merely going to fussy cut the little image. So you might have the squirrel, you might have an acorn, you could have another leaf, you might have a bird, you might have an envelope that has a heart, which might make you think of Valentine's, but it actually says, the saying that's going to go with that says, with a grateful heart. And I really like that sentiment for the Thanksgiving time of year. So you're going to trim whatever image you have out and lay those to the side. And now we're going to be putting it together. So your paper is going to come straight on flat. And what I want you to do these tins, the easiest thing I have found, make sure you start at the top, okay? At the piece with the tape. And right now all you're doing is kind of getting a measurement guide. And you're just going to kind of push along that. You're kind of in essence creating a score. Not fully, but you're just kind of going around there. You can kind of rub along those edges with your finger, and that'll help give you an idea of where they need to go. And then you're going to see, I've cut it a little bit long, so you're going to end up trimming off probably about a ½ inch or so. Now, once that's, and if you like that designer paper, you might want to keep that little scrap because you may want to layer it on your tag part later. So the next step is to merely take a pair of scissors, a piercing tool, your fingernails. Some people can do it with their fingernails. And you're just merely trying to, I should have grabbed my tool. You're lifting up that top edge of that tear tape, and you're going to remove it. And you're going to center your paper on right there. After I have that side on, then I'm going to lift off this other side of the tear tape. Because I don't want that to get in the way. Okay. Now, if you still have a little bit of excess on that paper, you can either do one of two things. You can either trim it off, or you can come in with just some of your white glue. This is a Tombow glue, and just push that down. Like so. All right, so now you have your band. Okay. There we go. Next step is to create our little tag decor. So I'm going to be using this particular leaf. I just randomly selected one. I've got my little image and I've got my saying, and if you have a little strip of that other DSP and you like it, you can create a little attachment thing there. And then you have your little piece of twine. For your twine, what you're going to do is just kind of create a knot in it. If I can get my fingers to work. And it's pretty long, but I'm just laying that aside. And all I'm going to do right now at this point is I'm just kind of playing to see how I want this to all come together. Do I want that down there? Got my little squirrel right there. That little paper is almost the exact length of my saying. So I'm actually going to just put a little bit of seal. You can use whatever glue or adhesive you like. And I'm just going to run that right along there. Trim it to make it exactly even. So now when I'm ready to go, I'm just going to adhese my leaf on. More for my saying. My little image, if you happen to have some of our dimensionals or a pop dot of some sort, Feel free to use that on your image to give it a little bit of depth, but it's not required. Everything can be put on there just like flat, and it will work great. So I'm going to put him on there. And then the last thing I have is my baker's twine. If you have a glue dot, oops, these are not the right ones, but just make use of those. Actually, or you can just use any adhesive. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a dot of my mono up there. And I'm going to end up trimming mine down quite a bit. I'm going to put it right up there so it kind of looks like it's hanging on the stem of my leaf. And now it's all done. And you can easily fill that up. Make sure you fill your tin with whatever you're going to put in it before you put it to your last designer, before you attach that designer series paper on the back side. Otherwise your person receiving it you won't be able to get back in it. So you're going to fill that up with whatever goodies that you'd like to send. It could be scriptures or prayers, it could be candy, it could be thoughts of gratitude that you have for them. It can be whatever you want to put in the blessing box. You could put a little note in there about how they're a blessing to your life, whatever you feel. But there it is. And then they can simply, to open it, you can even cut here, along here if you want, and then that way they can scissor it open. But there you go. That is the blessing box, and that is your fun project for the Library Curbside Kit in class this month in November. Thank you.